My name is Benita Izumezu, and we are live at the Voice Closeout event. Yes, the Voice program may have come to an end, but the impact that the program has benefited individuals and organizations still remains. And with me right now is someone that I know would share more light on the programs and other benefits that individuals and organizations can actually leverage on. So let's meet the special guests. Tell us your name, your organization, and what you do.
Hi everyone, my name is Akom Nya and I am the coordinator of Voice Nigeria. I work with Voice, of course, and Voice is a grant making facility where we give funds to organizations and CSOs to implement projects that will bring impact to the rights holders that we serve. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Wow, I told you this is an amazing guest. So we are at the Voice Closeout event with the Voice Coordinator. So can you tell us a little bit about, or can you tell us more about how organizations, coming from your experience, right, how organizations, especially emerging organizations and individuals, change makers, can actually leverage initiatives like innovative initiative to apply or position for opportunities, especially for grants, and position themselves for donor organizations and grants organizations.
Okay, so first of all, I think it's important for organizations to brand themselves properly. It's very one of the very strategic ways to move forward. Um, you have to understand the clear vision, mission that you're going to do. Once you have this, then it's easy for you to who you who you want to fund you. Because the trick is you can't accept it from everybody. It has to be to so you have to be very intentional. Do I want to engage with? What am I going to be doing? What are my values? Because if you have the clear value, you will understand that yeah, if the person is offering me money, I don't think I want to go this route. It has there's a bit of conflicts of interest with values from this. And when you have this in place, you're very strategic. You know where you're going to meet. And aside that, you need to understand how to tell stories of change. You need to understand how to tell your story of change. What have you done in the past? How do you want to leverage it? And in the process of doing all of this, you would understand more the gaps that you need to fill. You know, that you come up with activities doesn't really mean it's well meaning. How do you come up with your activities? Like for us in voice, before we give out grants, what we do is we do a context analysis. We understand what is happening in the country. What are the pressing needs? What are the urgent needs? If we're working with persons with disabilities, what are like the urgent needs? And we need that before. That helps us to select the organizations we're going to be working with. Because they have tailored their proposal to fit what we think is the need of the country at the moment. These things help us to understand. So organization needs to do all of this. They need to leverage this. They need to learn. They need to be intentional about their engagement with donors. Donor relationship is not a master-servant relationship. It's a partnership. I give you the money, we bring you expertise. So we have to agree at some level.
Yeah.
So what is the donor saying? What am I saying? We need to come to an agreement at some level. They're not supposed to dump their rules and regulations on you. So you have to be self-aware of what you want to do. And then you will see different.
Well, I think organizations need to learn to be strategic when it comes to actually reaching out to donor organizations. I think that's something that most emerging organizations need to learn.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so considering the fact that yes, voice program is coming to an end, how do you think that organizations, non-profits, can actually leverage social enterprise for sustainability?
Oh well, again, not all organizations want to become a social enterprise, yeah. But I think it would be a good route to go, especially now that there's a good funding space is shrinking. There is need to be explore ways to stay afloat and do all that. And I think one of the things you need to do is explore other ways of making funding, generating funds for the organization. I know organizations that provide some form of technical expertise to government and are being paid. And this comes as a form of sustainability plan. Some people also provide services that people can leverage on due to the exercise. For instance, I'm thinking citizens can have all of this. Could have activities or have a team that would go into documentaries, making documentaries and all of these things. It's a form of generating funds for the organization, and you know how to balance it. This goes to salary of the people working on it, and this goes to economic. And of course, we can also look at bigger organizations in Nigeria doing social responsibility. How this is aligned. Let's say Access Bank wants to do something around empowerment of youth or awareness on political, can say, oh, we have that expertise, can lead this forward and provide us with the funds. That way, you can stay afloat. And I think lots of creative ways to stay afloat and ensure that the crunch is minimal in the organization.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, coming to your personal experience, can you take us through a journey of your personal experience outside of being the coordinator for voice
Okay.
from a professional angle?
Yes, of course. I would say I've been on both sides. I've been on the granting side. I have been on the funding side. So I understand how this works. But however, one of the things I always say for organizations, don't rush to take money because you need money. Because sometimes people would, because of the sin, you just want to sign the contract. Midway implementation, they see that what they signed was really not what they bargained for. But because they didn't pay attention to this detail. They have signed off already, and it's like at this point they're not doing it grudgingly, and the impact, the zeal, everything is gone. We're just doing, let's just finish this project and do it. So they're not doing it out of impact anymore or passion. They're just doing it because they want to finish. We have signed, so let's finish. Well, it is important for you to have conversations. If you understand your contract, the contract is a contract for a reason. I mean, when you're getting employed, when your employer sells you a contract, you look at the contract. No. I'm not sure I want to work on weekends. If I'm working on weekends, then they said there should be a cover time. One should take time off in lieu. You have to agree on those things. So you can look at each line of this, read it. If you don't understand very well, get a legal person, somebody who is in the legal profession, to look at it for you and highlight this. If you sign this to get you insured, sign this. And also, what are your policies saying? The donor can come and say, before you take 10 naira from your purse, you have to, when you want to buy, you must be receipted. But if I want to go to Caro now,
You don't
both
have
will not go
receipts.
there. I have to use keke. So how do I marry this? And I am happy, my donor is happy. So I will tell my donor, in my policy, anything above 20,000 can be receipted. But if it is below 20,000, we can waive it and sign something. Just something to show that this activity was done. So we put these things in place so that at the end of the day, we are not struggling. So we need to understand, especially, I am saying there's part of the donor, I would also say, but for organizations who still involved, it's important that you look into these things and understand it clearly for yourself. Because once you sign, bet. So you need to look at it, understand it, and also ensure that it aligns with your values. Then for the donor aspect, I think what donors need to understand is the need for flexibility in funding. Organizations do not just do projects; they have other things they do. Things happen, things spring up. So you could say, oh, for instance, I worked in an organization that were providing intervention for some right holders, and for some reasons they were arrested and they went to court. There is no donor that has given us money and said they're taking people to court. So the only saving grace we had is we had some funding, which was a very flexible funding to use it for any eventuality. So if imagine organizations who don't have how do they survive? And there's a problem. And when people reach out and they are not forthcoming, they just say, going on social media, somebody is dragging the organization. We reach out to the organization, say they provide pro bono service. We reach out to the. It's not even like it is actually pro bono. So these lawyers, the pro bono is that it's the organization that is paying,
not
so they
from the
not the right holder. So we need to factor in this. If donors are giving money, then we can factor in some percentage to be an unrestricted fund that we can move it around. We can and looking at self-care. We're moving into feminist leadership. We're looking at self-care where we're providing some form of rest to our staff. If we're doing that and we have only project funding, when will we squeeze out that money? So we need to also, as donors, we need to look at it, make it a bit flexible and try to see how we can make the organization sustainable and have money that after the project, they can still go on for a period of time if there is no funding coming or until they're able to get another funding. Because it's really actually feasible. You know what? After the project, everybody patch.
Yes, you're very right. Thank you so much. I think lots of organizations, after they don't receive the next funding, they actually pack up and then you're hearing, oh, this organization no longer exists. But because they do not have sustainability plans and no understanding between their donors, of course, things like this always happen. And then in cases where dollar has to rise and then there's inflation in prices, I think all of those things should also be factored into conversations between donors and grantees, right?
Yeah. So again, I'm not as okay. I'm not a strong advocate for. I don't think I should say this here. Maybe some other time. But again, when if there's an inflation and dollar is doing its thing, it could be again to the organization, meaning that at this point we need more money, right? But what was the agreement with the funder? What did you agree? The funder says you have to declare exchange gains. And there's that. So it's not really like a plus to you as it were. But if those things happen and the funder is say, we're waiving the exchange gains, use it for whatever you're doing. Because some form of sustainability plan organization. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, thank you so much for that. I think it was an interesting conversation, learning from you as a coordinator on how individuals and organizations can leverage relationship